Merci.
So we are live. We think we are live. Today I wanted to talk about understanding the numbers. If you go into any type of business, you do what you do. You do a business plan, but part of the business plan is to do market research. What's the potential market for your service or your product? And I find that brokers don't kind of do that ever.
Nope.
Well, I've never met a broker that did that kind of work where, okay, how many transactions take place in this neighborhood, or out of those number of transactions, are they residential? You got to know, well, if I work this neighborhood, what can I hope to get? You're not going to get all transactions. Jay, I gave you an example earlier. I don't know if you remember, but when I started as a broker, I took one neighborhood that was kind of like an expensive neighbor. I'm not going to name it because I don't think it's important. But yeah. This neighborhood is a very, very high-end, nice neighborhood. And I did that exercise. I said, well, everybody wants to work that area because the homes of the price of the homes is very high. So I'm going to look at, well, how many transactions can I hope to get, or how many are there per year? And then I realized there's not that many. So I said, if there were, 500 brokers trying to get that business, but there's only 5. I'm exaggerating for the purpose here, but there's 5 transactions. There's 500 people trying to get those 5. Doesn't make any sense. How am I going to even get one of those?
Yeah.
Even if I'm great. So then what I did is I looked at all the different neighborhoods in a part of Montreal. And then I found one that had a high turnover, because this one was a bit bigger, but it also had more different types of properties. You had entry-level stuff, you had high-end waterfront stuff, you had commercial stuff, you had rentals, but the number was quite high. Now, the average price was lower, obviously, but I said, I'm going to focus there. There's way more transactions, which is something that I can control. Like, you can't make transactions up. You got to look back in history and look at, well, how many transactions could there be? There's trends.
Who showed you that? Was that your own thing that you said you were going to do off the bat? Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a thing strategically that I had planned for. It was more to how my brain worked, which was, okay, if I'm going to be doing a geographical prospecting, I want to know, well, what's the potential return here. I really like statistics. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm not a nerdy, super educated individual with the traditional school system is what I'm trying to say, which I think is a good thing in the end. But no, it was just, well, how many potential homes or people could I potentially have in a year if I look back 20 years and do the average? Like, why would 1 year, unless there's some extraordinary event, but why would 1 year, if there's 5 transactions every year, why would 1 year there be 100? Like, it's not impossible, but probability.
Well, there's something in the economy that would happen.
No, but that's what I mean. But it's like the moon started.
But you're
shifting.
saying that was your strategy from the beginning, and you're saying a lot of brokers that you meet don't have that strategy, in the sense that they know where they want to start, but they don't know the numbers. And so, you're saying educate yourself on the numbers.
Yeah, I'm saying that if a broker comes in and says, I want to make X amount of money per year, and I want to work this area, because I hear this all the time.
And serving two different complete areas with Westmount and the West Island, right?
Well. So if that's the case, then you got to know the numbers.
Yeah.
You can't just blindly go and say, oh, if I'm starting a coffee company, but in a market that don't drink coffee, I gotta know that. I gotta know, well, how much coffee is being sold right now.
And caution too. Even if you're doing it part-time, it's important to know, because even if you're doing it part-time, you want to make sure you're hitting more. Which was my case. Was not that off the bat. I wanted to be in the area that I live, because I said, well, that's convenient for me. But then I was going up against just the biggest Goliaths in the industry. Some of who we work with. Now on the agency side,
well, what you just
and it was a horrible idea, because I wanted to bang more off of being part-time than being full-time, so I could make more and be more convenient.
Yeah,
and conveniency usually kills you too.
No, but
right?
what you just said is that you wanted to do it you wanted it to be convenient because it's around your neighborhood. If you don't care about the actual, if you don't have a specific financial goal in mind, then that's okay.
Yeah.
Because you want the convenience. That's the priority for you. It's not, I need to make $500,000. Mike, did you do this exercise ever, or you're more of we go where we go? And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I look at it more like farming. So if you look at an apple tree, you tell yourself that how many apples can this tree yield, and how many people are going to be eating out of that apple tree. So if there's too many people, then you know the odds of you actually getting an apple are smaller.
So yes, you did that.
Yeah.
Not no. Yeah. But if your earth in your apple orchard, what do you call it? The apple
Orchard.
The
Orchard.
earth,
Apple orchard.
the earth where the trees grow is not fertile for the tree to grow. You gotta analyze the soil. You can want to plant your trees all you want.
Yeah.
If you can't, you can't.
Your
So-
harvest won't be that great. No.
So if I pulled out some numbers just to share, because I never did this exercise before, just recently.
Oh, really?
If I take the whole province of Quebec, guess how many transactions there was last year? Residential stuff.
In the whole province?
In the whole province of Quebec.
Interesting.
You see, you would think that this is something that we should know like that, no?
Off the bat, yeah, we
Like
should know.
10,000.
10,000?
I don't know. I'm throwing a number in the air.
If this is anything like the Price is Right, I'll do 10,001. I'll go 10,001, Bob.
Well, we have Gabriel on the board there. Gabriel, what would you take a guess?
Transaction in during the year,
Yep.
Montreal,
No, the
Not
province
much
of
all
Quebec.
Quebec.
province of Quebec, over the year, I'd say, I'll go with
Five.
300,000.
I say 525,000 transactions.
300,000.
Okay, now you're all way off.
What is-
88,000.
Oh, wow.
Oh, still the closest.
That's modest.
But you see, you need to know.
Yeah.
You would think you're in this business, you're selling a service. Well, what's the potential? And this was last year. I should have.
And now we're 40% less than that?
Well, no, 40% was Montreal.
Okay.
So, how many people live in the province?
How
of
many
Quebec?
transactions within in Montreal?
I don't have that statistic.
He's not there yet, Mike.
No, I don't have it. But wait, the other important thing is then, well, how many human beings, how many people live in the province? Like, what's the ratio between the number of transaction and the number of people?
Well, there's-
Because the people are who are going to buy your services.
There's about 8.6 million people living in Quebec.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you just Google this. This is great. But still, you need to know. And then in Montreal, what's the number?
4.
4.1, 4.2, something like that. Half of the people are in the greater Montreal. Am I right?
Right.
That's right. So, with those statistics, then you look at what's the number of average transaction a broker has, and it ranges between 2 to 10 transactions a year, anywhere between roughly $50,000 to $80,000 a year gross commission. If we took, Mike, can you do the math in your head? If we took 88,000, or let's round it up to 90,000 transactions divided by, there's about 15,000 or so real estate brokers in the province,
Right.
roughly. How many transactions is that per broker? Simple math.
Well, about one.
What are you talking?
Well, you
I
said
hate this
80
game.
You said 90,000.
I wasn't even asking you for the answer. It's not. It's 90,000.
Oh,
This
90,000
is
divided
the
by
point-
17,000.
This is the point when I used to be over there. I just say, just go ahead and tell us the number. It's in.
6 transactions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. Now, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Are you hearing what I'm saying? If
Hey, you
there's-
better know where to hunt if you're gonna try and
you need-
survive.
So if you're looking for more than 6, who's your potential target? What area are there transaction or more transaction? You got to elevate your
game.
potential return here. If you're going to spend time prospecting a certain area, well, you want to know that there's more than transaction, and you can't be crazy and think, well, I'm going to get them all. Like that's just insane. I like the way Mike adds so much value.
No, but I'm just thinking, it makes sense.
Yes, it does. All right, so another thing.
Well, but just to follow up,
Yeah.
the numbers that you're pulling here right now, is that similar to the way that you viewed it when you did it back when the exercise that you were trying to complete?
Well, yeah, I didn't do it across the province of Quebec because
No, but
I didn't have
in
the
terms
mindset.
of the numbers, in terms of looking, that's you were spot on with what you were doing.
I picked an area that had the diversification of properties, the diversification of cultures, and the different price points, and a high turnover. Because for me, it was more important to look. I'll just do a lot of. I need to eat. I need to feed my family. I need a house. I need to pay the mortgage. So I can't wait for hopefully winning the lottery by selling one big property. I didn't want to chance it.
Yeah.
I wanted to control my destiny. And we have Mike that does.
So I'm listening to what you're saying. So in other words, what you're saying is that you wanted to go where you saw that there was more activity because you felt that your opportunities would be there in order for you to convert more.
Well, you got to put the chances on your side, yes, and you got to look at, well, where's the activity right now? How many people are working that area? How many human beings live in this area? Because they're the ones that are going to potentially buy your. So you got to use. There's tools. There's the LAPCEQ at the association level. There's the what en français I don't know what it is. Le baromètre. It's got all the stats, average prices, median prices, number of transactions. It's all there. You got to do a bit of research on that side.
So what would you say to a broker that's starting out and that gets into an area where there's a high turnover, but there seems to be only 6 or 7 brokers that have all the business and they're big brokers and doesn't feel the confidence to be able to come up there, especially they're starting brand new.
Yeah.
They have no experience, nothing.
I would say come see Mike. Mike's going to help you out, be part of the team, the Mellor Group team, and we're going to talk about that. This is the kind of stuff that we need to discuss. I also pulled out interesting stats about social media. So every year there's reports that go online, and now the 2022 report, it just came out. This I was not expecting. Like, we're a lot on social media. But I wasn't ready for these answers.
And again, this is how most Canadians use social media.
Yes,
right?
according to a website called Online Business Canada that Jay suggested. No, it's not true.
The CIRA.
The
CIRA. Yeah.
How many people live in Canada?
38 million.
38 million, exactly. There's 31.8 million Canadians who last year in 2022 were on social media or one of the platforms.
How many? Sorry?
31.8. So let's say 32 million out of the 38. In the 38, you've got a ton of kids also and people that you would not want on social media. So I don't know what the ratios are here, but pretty much everybody's on social media is what this is saying to me. And the average is 6, these people use 6 different social media platforms. I talk a lot, you've heard me say this a bunch of times. If you're in business, if you're a real estate broker, you want to be on not one platform because you're really comfortable with it. You want to be on many, many platforms. So you've got the proof right here. Right, Mike?
Yeah.
And the average time spent varies from an hour to 3 hours. So I used to say 4.5 hours. I think, it depends where you look, you're going to get different stats. But this is for Canada. The 4.5, I think, is for US. So the other thing I found really interesting, Jay, is why do people use social media? What's at the top of the line? Did you read my notes?
Nope, I didn't read your notes.
But wait, what would you say, Jay?
I would say to be part of a conversation, to be part of a community.
Okay. So just to be part of a community, excuse me, is in where is it? It's at 13th place, at the 22% of all Canadians.
Okay, so yeah, I think I know what it is. What do you think?
I think, because when I look at social media, I think a lot of Facebook and keeping in touch with family and friends.
Oh my God! He read it. It's written exactly.
What?
Keeping in touch with friends and family. He just switched the family.
Wow, ladies and
I didn't even
gentlemen,
see it.
do not play board games with Mike.
No,
I didn't even see it.
read it.
No, I'm thinking of Facebook because that's the first big platform that everybody got on.
the guy that doesn't use social media at all.
No, but that's what people were using it for.
47.6% of people said they're on social media for that reason, to keep in touch with family and friends. And you know, when I talk about nurturing relationships and not selling on social media and just like how's it going, all that, this is what it's saying. You know, to me, that's what it says. It says that people are there to talk with their friends and family.
They don't want to sell.
They don't want to be sold, and although it is here the selling part.
What are the top 5? Go through them.
Top 5. So keeping in touch with family, number 1. Number 2, passing spare time, 36%, just because they're bored, I guess, is what it is here. Third place, reading the news.
Yeah, to stay informed.
That's
what I would
do,
say.
or
too.
Gabriel
Yeah.
does. I see him. Fourth is finding content, 31%. Number 5, check out what others are talking about, 29.5%.
Let's be part of the conversation.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike.
So, no, but this is important to know so that you can use it or produce content or interact
According
with
to,
people
yeah.
according to what people use it for.
It's funny that most of the answers that you're looking for in order to create content, we've gone over this lengthily, even with whether it's a conference that I've given, you've given, or Mike's given, that the majority of the answers that we're looking for in order to create any kind of content, the answer is somewhere online, whether it's on Google or in reports like this, and it's just creating the content to serve those people better. If you can crack that code to serve them better, the job's taken care of. It's not going to come across as a hard sell. It's not going to come across as, flaunting money or, fancy cars and crazy watches. It's going to come across as sincere, and that's clearly what people want.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, it says a bit further in the article, it says 32% use social media to find information about brands and products. 32% of 31 million.
Well, it
That's
makes
huge.
sense too, right? If I meet you, look, we were out the other night. You met somebody. You should say it more in a way. You met somebody.
I met one person.
I introduced you to somebody.
Yeah.
And what did you do immediately?
Right
you went
after-
on. You went on social. Did you go on a website? Did you go on his website?
I did. I
Yeah.
checked out the website. I actually connected on LinkedIn.
There you go. So
Right
social
away.
immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately. Yeah.
Almost 20% of us follow influencers on social media. 20% of the 31 million. But that's not a big number. So when you're trying to be an influencer, it's not nothing.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be the primary reason why you're going. And to hit the bigger segment of the market, just go with nurturing and being friendly and having friends.
When you went on that person's social
Yep.
that we're talking about here, was his latest posts like him at a kegger, him at a tailgate party?
No,
Did it reinforce the idea of who that person was through the content that he was sharing?
I didn't take the time to go look through the content. I just, because it was kind of late.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make sure I didn't forget. And the other reason why I did it right away, which is it was late, like I said,
Yeah.
is because I didn't want him to forget who I was. Because if I wait 3, 4, 5 days, a week or two, he might not remember who I am. Like there's so much distraction. There's so many people trying to reach us, especially someone like this person. So I said right away, I'm gonna.
And this comes down to leads too. So if you're out and somebody starts following, you follow them immediately back because you want to make that outreach. These are like the purest form of connecting with you. And that, when we talk about nurturing and creating confidence with the people that you're working with, if your feed's full of nurturing information and helpful information, if you go out on a weekend and you're going to go and buy a place, well, the less conversation takes place, they might feel a bit more irked and is this the right decision? Or if they see your social and they already know who you are through social, it creates a huge batch of confidence for them. It's really good.
The other thing I pulled out, which this is always a topic with everybody, what platforms are the most used? Which ones are the more popular? Where are people spending most of their time? Again, it's about knowing not how you feel about it, but what is the population, in our case, Canada, is spending most of their time. Can you guess the number one platform? I mean, Mike must have read my notes. But
No, I didn't read your notes. They're in front of you. I would guess TikTok, Facebook, Instagram.
yeah, well, take one because now you've mentioned all of them. No, but pick one, the main one, the where 80% of Canadians spend most of their time. It's kind of easy, Mike. I don't know.
Well, I guess
Okay.
TikTok or Instagram.
Facebook.
Now, Facebook, Jay's right.
Yeah.
80% of Canadians spend most of their time on
We
Facebook.
have the wrong impression of Facebook. We have a super wrong impression of
Completely
Facebook.
off.
It feels not cool. You feel some days you want to be off of it. You feel you don't want to pay attention to it. Is where the majority of conversations happen, and a lot of the engagement happens too. Is on Facebook. Crazy enough.
And in second place, most would say Instagram, I'm sure. It's not. It's the one I've been saying to use and no one's listening.
Clubhouse.
No.
What?
YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
but
many times
but that's not the same thing. You're not using YouTube to communicate with your family. YouTube is
the reach is 72% of Canadians spend. This is their favorite platform.
yeah, to watch and be entertained.
That's correct.
Yeah, but that's not the same thing.
So what we want. But there's so few brokers creating content. We talked about that. You came up with the idea of that I'm not going to share with everybody right now, but
Yeah.
you were bang on here with YouTube. In third place, Instagram at 53%. TikTok is a low 30% for now.
Well, it's also it's a different scoring demographic as well.
It is.
The last numbers that came out, I think, which I heard of last week, was a very young demographic, but a very powerful demographic.
But growing.
Yeah, but growing.
And changing. Facebook adoption is virtually universal in Canada, with little difference between household incomes or education level. Again, why is that important? Because if you're going to be doing advertising, or you're going to use a platform or many platforms, you want to know that you're reaching a vast audience and not just maybe a tiny segment, in my opinion. That's about it. Facebook advertisers enjoy a potential reach of 63% in Canada. That's huge, 63%.
For again, how much? How much are you paying for your campaigns?
But that's the thing. The cost of a reach campaign, as an example, which is like a virtual postcard or just getting attention, impressions, is 0.04. No, excuse me, 0.004 cents per view, per impression.
And these are ads that go to work for you.
Yeah.
They literally go to work for you. So when you're thinking of buying covers on whichever paper or wherever you are, if you're not in it for just the sheer vanity, your money's better placed on social to be able to have it work for you. You can't get a lead from a picture on a paper.
No.
I hate to say it.
No,
but
that's right. YouTube, this again, I've been saying, but YouTube, 41% of Canadians watch it for tutorials, how to, educational stuff. So
things you'll never even use. Yeah.
That's right, but as brokers,
yeah.
all of the stuff you're communicating, Mike, as an example, all the stuff you communicate to the team, Gabriel, Jay, if we had those videos up there,
It's taken care of.
Yeah.
it's free. All right, so if you're interested in more, I got a bunch of stuff.
This
links
is
in
stuff
TikTok.
that we talk on a much wider scale.
Oh, yeah.
This is us after the end of a day, that coming in to look at this as a whole. But we do this. We did how many last week? 17 hours.
17 hours a week
17 hours a week.
minimum.
Yeah.
Plus these capsules and these bits and tips and tricks. So if this is something that you want to dive more deeper into, reach out to any one of us. We have coming up next week, Mike.
Prep session Thursday.
Prep session Thursday. What is prep session? You're a future real estate
The
broker.
prep session, basically, if you're a future real estate broker, you need to pass the exam, whether you want to become an AEO, you want to do your commercial, your residential. We're doing the prep session. That's going to give you an opportunity, a better chance for you to be able to pass that exam. And if you're having any difficulties in any part of it, then we do have the right people to help you achieve that goal.
How much is that? $1,700?
No, it's free.
Oh.
It's absolutely
And est-ce qu'on le fait en français aussi?
free. We do it in French, we do it in English, and soon
Mike parle très bien
probably.
français. On est allé au collège ensemble en français. On est québécois pur laine
Non, mais
francophone.
10 700 parce que c'est ça que j'ai payé pour mon préparation
Ouais.
d'examen. Dans
Ah
le temps.
ouais.
Ouais.
Wow.
Mais c'est pas gratuit pour tout le monde. là. C'est gratuit pour certaines personnes.
C'est gratuit pour les membres du groupe Mellor. Donc,
Mais
si
c'est
vous
ça.
êtes intéressé à devenir membre, juste contactez-nous.
Exactement. Avec de l'énergie. On a aussi la semaine d'enfer la semaine prochaine.
Le Quick Start.
C'est aussi dénommé Quick Start Your Business in Real Estate. It's a condensed 4-day compressed, Mike, compressed. A lot of information. 4 full days with the whole team to
Yep.
explain what?
Well, to basically cut down everything that you didn't learn in school, we're going to teach you everything that you need to learn on the field. We realize that there's probably a lot of stuff in school that you learned that's theoretical, so we're going to put you in a position to learn the practical. And at the same time, whether it's the software, learning how to negotiate, I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on, but it'll put you in a better position to hit the ground running.
And Jay, officially what we're doing is we're opening our leads program to outside brokers. we have too many leads. We can't just give enough of those out. And I wanna give them out to outside brokers. If this is something you're interested, reach out to Mike. I guess Mike primarily is gonna explain the whole program. Don't do it right now because it's too time consuming. We have commercial leads, seller leads, buyer leads in both languages, French and English. We have the round tables every week with Gabriel. This week the topic was
Time management.
managing your time efficiently.
Yeah.
It's such a boring thing to when you think of it, like time management, like you've heard this a million times, but as a self-employed person,
You need it.
It's probably the biggest, most important thing that you have to develop I don't know how to say it with more enthusiasm and passion. No, but my whole life is based on my schedule and managing every minute and being.
Well, it's a funny
efficient.
concept, right? Let's be honest. We talked about it today again. If you're a dentist, you go to work to be a dentist. You know exactly what to do in your day. It's been drawn out for you. When people say you're a realtor, you think of one thing. When you get into it, you think, oh, well, I'm going to sell homes. But it's so much more than that. And every day counts, and it's a long game. It's a real long game. And if you don't do it properly off the bat, then well, you're going to be me or one of us here, and you're going to be working here instead of being on the field. But it's so important.
The other, and in my report, I forgot to mention on the social media statistics, the most people, who spends the most time on social media, in the sense of employed people or self-employed? Who would you think has more time?
Is that really in there?
Yeah, I forgot to mention it. I had highlighted it, but.
Well, okay, so that's kind of a trick question, right? Because we know that.
Well, you would think
employees, like the new smoking is social media, right? So like, a lot of people just sit at their desk and they stay on social media the whole day. So I want to say it's the employees, but maybe it's the self-employed. I think it's the self-employed.
I think it's the employees.
Well, you're both right. I would have thought, not because I agree with the fact that you're self-employed, you should waste your time consuming social media. That's where time management comes into play. Right. And here you have proof, according to this article, that the people that are self-employed, they don't have time to waste.
Yeah.
It costs money, time's money. So that's one of the topics that we cover. But the roundtable is for all kinds of topics, changes of law, growing your business using social media. It's a bit of everything. We have experts, guests that come. This is a weekly thing. It's in person and by Zoom. What else do we have? We have the mentorship program. We have two categories of mentorship programs. We have the outside brokers and we have our brokers. Next group is Tuesday, Mike?
Next Tuesday we have a group that will be invited for outside brokers. The selection should be complete for round 2 this week. So if you do get a phone call, it means that you've been selected. And if you're interested, contact me and I'll be more than happy to enlighten you on how it works.
And lastly, on the 27th of April, I'm not going to announce the exact location yet, but we're doing a new construction launch, 5 à 7 event. Mike, you want to talk about it? Or can we...
We're not allowed to talk about it yet, actually.
Well, it's going to be the 27th. We're not going to say where. If you want to participate, if you want to come and check it out.
Yeah.
What's the advantages of that? Right?
Well, the advantages is that you're going to be in a position to be able to sell the new project. I don't want to go into the details. And we'll be able to give you, certain perks regarding that.
So Gabriel's telling us it's time to go. I guess he's got another appointment or something. I don't know. Again, if you're looking for a team to join and you want to not be in a traditional team, but you want to be in a team where it's more like internship. As you learn, you actually get paid and you make money. Reach out to us, Mike. We have a few spots left. Do we? Yes?
We have a few spots left, but very limited, so act fast.
And that includes the leads. We provide you with...
Yeah, the leads are free. The leads are absolutely free. And we show you how to convert.
These are those leads that we've been generating as well. So the leads that we do have, these are qualified leads.
Yeah.
And this is from a pool that we have, and we are using this with the group. It's important to say, though, that for Thursday and Friday, we're inviting everybody who was there last week to come back this week. To continue with the mentorship. That's for the outside brokers, Thursday and Friday, correct?
That's correct. Well, you reach out. You got to reserve your spot, though. You can't just show up without so reach out to one of us, and we'll send you the invitation. So with that, thank you very much. We'll all see you tomorrow for another great topic or two. Take care.